Okay, so this area here is a pain because you have to get the lawnmower around here and then travel up to there. It's not a big deal, but the thing is these quartz rocks, they tend to fall off the sort of slant they're on into the grass, and that triggers my sort of neatness slash OCD thing. So I'm like, well, I got to put them back now. So you can kind of, if you push the lawnmower up this thing, it's kind of on a gradient like this. It doesn't look like too much, but it actually is kind of a bit steep. So when you go over it, it like knocks all the rocks off. And just walking along here, if you happen to step on these rocks, they will fall. And then there's weeds all in them, so this needs its own weeding, sort of like if you want to keep this maintained. And today, that's not the job for me. And also this thing needs to be pruned and weeded and stuff, and that's not part of my MO today. So I'm just going to go in the back here and take a little peek at my job completed. Had some issues with the weed whacker. Brought 2 weed whackers. The second one, actually no, they both ran out of cord. Actually no, they didn't run out of cord. The one ran out of cord, and the other one, which is the gas powered sort of more industrial one, it kind of like, if you're not paying very close attention to it, the cord just gets down to the nub and then disappears. And so when you're doing this kind of grass along here, it basically just destroys it. So yeah, and then it was gone, so I had to re-cord it, which takes a few minutes, and that took some time. And then I didn't measure it properly, so one end was like a foot long, the other end was like 4 inches long, so then it wasn't spinning properly, and the one part of the cord got caught, and then I had to take it and detangle it, which wasn't a big deal. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of any of these things, but they all take like minutes and drags out. And then this kind of area, this backyard area here, it was like 1 foot or so of maybe 8 inches of grass, so I had to like basically plow through it with my mower, which my mower did an admirable job. And then but there's also this hill over here, and there's a lot of little angles on this property where it's like you're trying to like go up this hill. Not really, it's steeper than it looks on this camera, but it's just like you have to kind of push it up the hill, and I can see why lots of people wouldn't want to deal with mowing on this hill, especially since the grass is kind of spotty. So it's almost like you should take it out and put a garden. I've talked about this property before. It has this could be a beautiful garden, but right now this is sort of the garden, which is not even really any sort of garden, not a vegetable garden, not any sort of perennial garden. It's just and it has this little bonus mound here, which I don't know if you can see that, but it's like I couldn't mow over it, but it would might mess up my blade if I go over this hump. So basically I just went around it. And then this area over here is a bit problematic because there's some RIP mowers over here, they're supposed to go into the shop or go into the dump or something. They're still here. And then this is probably the hardest part, is this patio, which was like a foot deep in weeds that come through these cracks, and you can sort of see evidence. I tried to blow it out here, but there's so much like green weeds that it basically doesn't it's hard to get them all. You'd have to basically get in there with some kind of a tool and dig them out of the cracks, or just take this whole part out. But yeah, this part is very stubborn as far as it just eats whippersnipper cord very quickly, because you're hitting the cement, you're trying to you kind of just get for me, I get kind of go a little bit wild and just try to basically get it all out in a mad rampage, but then it kind of wears out the cord, so that's not good. But so both whippersnippers kind of had it today. The industrial one did better. The other one did okay, and then I just ran out of cord, I guess. I didn't check it before I left. And before I left the lawnmower, I started it, and then I went by, there's a carpet in the garage that is sort of flat and is kind of brown, and I didn't really notice it, so I just got, and it was, super flat, so I'm like, I happened to push the lawnmower near it or slash over it, and it like started eating the carpet, so I'm like, I almost wrecked my lawnmower before I even left, which isn't surprising because this sort of whole gig here has been like it's been interesting, it's been fun, but it's been a challenge somehow. So anyway, this is a job complete, and this will be going on the YouTube channel. So, oh yeah, in this area also I might want to mention, it's just very difficult to mow and whippersnip in here, because like I said, everything's on an angle, and you basically have this sort of gully in here, like its own little cul-de-sac of, I have to weed whack this area. But yeah, it's perfectly set up so that when you are coming over here, you stop the lawnmower against this door closes, you have to open it, and then by the time you kind of get behind your lawnmower, it closes again. So it's actually a perfect, there's this cord that you can use to like tie the door, but I prefer the challenge of trying to like drive myself insane trying to get the lawnmower out of here. And then on an angle, you have to pick it up and then go out this way, which is the angled thing, so you're stepping on those rocks. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna leave it at that, and goodbye.